Today's episode, we're going to be talking about hospitals and caregivers.
You're listening to
Jom Sembang, Malaysia. So, Gina, you have been spending quite a lot of time in hospital. Not you, but as a caregiver.
Yes. I seem to be the family caregiver.
Okay, so my question is, who in the family do you think always gets the job of being the caregiver?
Me.
Okay, I mean like...
No. I get what you mean. So there is always I think the first person who gets to be the caregiver is someone who is not working.
Not working.
Correct. Because in the hospital, depending on the scenario lah. Okay. Sometimes they allow a caregiver with the patient 24 hours.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just visiting hours.
Okay.
And because of visiting hours is normally lunchtime and after work that 2 hours, a
Okay.
lot of working people cannot. By the time you reach hospital, you need to half an hour you need to get out.
Okay, by working you mean people who have to
proper
office
jobs in
hours
office.
lah.
Correct lah.
Okay, because
People don't think I'm working ma. That's why I'm the caregiver.
okay.
I think I remember when my grandma was ill in the hospital, I was a caregiver. My shift was 4 p.m. to the next day 7 a.m. Okay, so
Wow.
because everybody needs to work, Gina don't need to work. Okay, and then
they think you can work in the hospital.
which is quite impossible, which I will tell you why.
Okay.
So the second time I took care was my uncle who had a little bit of a Parkinson.
Uh-huh.
And then so happened, right, he lived with the son and the family. They all need to balik kampung. And then the wife, which is my aunt, needs to go on a holiday, like sudah book or something.
Wow.
Then suddenly like, how come no one is at home but him? So, Gina, can you come and jaga him like 3-4 days?
In the house lah.
In the house. So caregiver is also not necessarily in the hospital sometimes. But if you are
Right, of course,
working from home, then you're forever kena lah.
Okay. Sometimes, more often it's the girl, isn't it, as well?
Depend on the patient lah. If the patient is a guy, then you get a guy lah. If the patient is a girl,
Okay
then
lah,
you get
also
a
true
girl.
lah. Also true.
But of course, at the end of the day, they're not picky. Spending so much time in the hospital the last few weeks, not me as a patient, I find that kasihan a lot of caregivers are old. Like this old 70-year-old
So
auntie, this the husband is the caregiver. Like
Yeah lah.
the person cannot even take care of himself.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But they are the only choice because the children are working. The children cannot be there at that 12 to 2 or that 4 to 7 kind of thing.
Okay, so if it's an elderly person, likelihood it would be the spouse.
Correct.
If the spouse is still living, and because elderly, retired, so also don't have to go
Correct.
office. So
Fits
they are
the
available
profile.
at the time, fits the profile. If it is a younger person, then husband working or wife working,
You see the
then
father
it
or the
will
mother?
be daughter lah or son who is also don't have to go office hours.
Either that or their parents. I've seen young patients with old parents taking care of them because there's no other choice.
Or it could also be the person with the most compassionate employer law. I'm saying this
Yes
because
and no lah.
recently...
I'm only saying yes and no is because, right, if you be a caretaker in the hospital, by the second week you wish you have a full-time job, so you have an excuse not to be there.
Wow.
It can be very tiring.
Yeah. No, I was saying that because recently we had somebody who came into work and it was her first day of work.
Okay?
And quite kesian also lah. First day of work, and then she emailed me because at that point we hadn't exchanged phone numbers and all because haven't come to work.
Okay,
Right, you know?
resume should have phone numbers.
No, she didn't have my phone number
Uh-huh.
because I didn't want to. Yeah. So on that first day, we were like, how come never turn up? So I like check email, and her had an emergency at home, and she was the one who had to go to hospital. So of course, in that moment, you're like, okay, I'll see you when it's settled. But also being the compassionate employer lah. But then I was thinking, is she an only child? I mean, all these things went through my head, right? A, is she an only child? B, single mom ke? Like the mother single mom ke? How come immediately it was her that had to go? Is it because she's the daughter? Later I found out she had 2 elder brothers, and then she's like, well, brothers lah. But again, like you said, this was the mother, and the father needed to work. So I'm like, but she also needs to work, what? So, yeah. I
You
suppose
probably
it's
saw it as, a young person, never mind, can start again, first job, never start. If you lose it, never mind.
something like that lah. The father was doing delivery. So I don't know if it's like, so if you're working with Pigeon or Flash, is it like Grab where you can go or don't go? Or is it like,
I think there's
9 to
options lah.
5? Yeah. So so that immediately ran through my head. I'm like, how come on her crucial day of
They
starting work,
took her from it.
she had to be the one, or was it just because she was the most responsible one? You know?
Maybe. We are
Yeah.
too responsible for our own good.
Yeah.
Anyway, since we're on the topic,
Yeah.
it's been day 24 that my mom is in
Wow.
the hospital.
Wow.
Oh, the 24th, 16, my brother joined her.
Oh my gosh.
Dengue. So it's really been a crazy hospital caretaking for me.
But your mom wasn't dengue lah.
Wasn't dengue
Okay,
lah.
so two separate.
Okay, two separate cases.
Okay,
Thank
alright.
God managed the same hospital. Otherwise, it's crazy.
Wow.
Okay, so because they're adults, no caretakers are allowed. Okay.
Yeah.
My brother has been a seasoned patient. Like since young, he was born with a heart disease. So he's been like when I say seasoned hospital patient, it's like
Alright.
he knows exactly the drill lah.
I
5:30,
see.
people come and turn me upside down, wash me. 6:30, breakfast is served, yada yada
Okay.
yada.
Okay.
Including like when the doctors come about and stuff. So
Wow.
he's so seasoned the last 29 years of his life.
Wow.
Came my mother, first time hospital.
Oh no.
Oh, it's totally different. Remember the first night she take 5:30 they wake me up and then I'm still blurred, don't know what's happening, and then they turn me around, change pampers, don't know whether I woke up like this, like 6:30 they serve breakfast and like total complaint or whining or nagging or whatever you call
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So there is a lot of things to do when you're in the hospital as a caretaker and not caretaker.
Okay.
So with my brother, it's very simple. He's so seasoned that I just need to go in. What you need? Done.
Okay.
With my mom, it's like every hour she's texting, I cannot reach my water. I say, I'm not there, call the nurse. I cannot reach I need this. The food sucks. The food this, the food that. It was so tiring for the caretaker lah.
Giver.
Yeah. So I think in a way, every time I look back, I always tell myself there are a few things I want to share with patients and caretaker.
Okay.
That to set expectations right lah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, like my mom, first time, blah, blah, blah. And I remember telling her, right, you were the caretaker for my brother.
Right.
How is it that you did not learn anything of it? I like, if it's not something that as a patient for me is if there are things that you cannot change, you adapt lah.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you know
yeah,
they're
yeah,
coming
yeah.
at 5:30 to turn you up, but you need to be awake earlier so that you're not disorientated,
Yeah.
then you wake up at 5 a.m. lah.
Right.
And then after that settle you 6 o'clock, you can sleep until 7:30 when the breakfast
Right.
comes. Like no point going against the system. What?
Right,
The
correct.
system's been there,
Yeah. And there must
So-
be a reason also lah for it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because by 8 o'clock, the doctors do their rounds and
Yeah.
everything and stuff like that. And then after that, she complained, cannot reach. Let us know, we adjust properly. Everything is within there, but you cannot be too, how to say? I must reach something that's beyond reach, then you try pasar. Because why? We put everything around you, then you said everything I can hit when I move
Oh,
too
too
fast.
near.
But if I don't put near, you call
Can't
me, I
reach.
cannot reach water, I'm dying of thirst. Then,
Okay, wait, but
wow.
I have a question. She's not normally like that, right?
Yeah,
Is she,
so
is she
initially-
like the pampered type at home?
No, so initially I thought people in pain we pamper a bit. But after a while, like 10 days, you are like, seriously, can you just...
Okay. No, I'm just trying to understand why would somebody who's not generally like that. I mean, there are people who like every day memang in their normal life also
But if you're
complain,
stuck
so-
in your bed, I think it's different. So for
Okay.
me, I think the first few days I had compassion by trying to explain to her that I cannot put 5 bottle water here because it's 5 bottle blocking all the views, and then the doctor come and then there's 5 kg of water on your table.
Right,
you know?
right.
So I need to do like certain prep work like that.
Okay.
So as a patient, it's very important to understand the system. It's not there to kill you. It's there so that everything runs smoothly. So like lunchtime, you cannot complain, oh, come on, 11:30, I'm not hungry. Hey, you don't eat 12:30, they can't collect. If they cannot specialize, collect yours at certain hour.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So when I compare her and my brother was a very good patient. In fact, my brother will go in and say, Mom is like this one hospital. Because she will complain like, hey, I want them to change my pampers, half an hour that they don't change. Then everybody's busy. Normally you tell them within an hour they will change.
Okay.
You cannot expect people to drop everything and like,
Right.
"Hey, let's change now.
Yeah, because
So-
there's so many people, right? in
Correct.
there.
So my brother is like, Mom, it's like this one. So I think it's very important to have a certain expectation. If you know you're going to go to the hospital for a long time as a patient, you need to know that, okay, what are the clothes I need to bring? Normally you wear hospital clothes.
Yeah.
Okay, then you need to know what you need. For example, I know for sure my mom need a power point or power plug for her phone to make sure it's
Yeah, man.
connected. That was like the main priority, and water, that's it. Everything else is extra.
Okay.
If you want extra snacks, it's extra, okay? It's
Okay.
not,
So paling basic, okay. So what? Paling basic is power bank, so that
Power
you won't get
Yeah.
totally bored.
correct. And water lah.
Water lah. Yeah.
Yeah, some hospital provides it, some don't.
What? Water?
Yeah, some they every morning they come and refill a jug. Give
Yeah, I
you a
thought
jug.
there's always a jug. I always
Okay,
see
no,
a jug.
the recent hospital I went is just now. Here's 1 mineral water. That's it.
Really?
So it really depends on your need lah.
Okay.
Okay. Second thing I tell the patient, right? Visiting hour is only 1 day 4 hours, 2 hour, 2 hour like that.
Yeah.
Then every time you ask, why you never come? Why you come online? Why you go off so fast? Very tiring one. So I always say, to kill time, go talk to the person next to you lah. The bed fella got a lot of bed, right? Got a lot of
Yeah,
patient,
yeah, yeah.
right? Chit chat lah. You know, it's no harm chatting, and then you might help each other feel better.
Yeah.
Talk about your fears or whatever.
Yeah,
compared to-
because they're going to be there like 24/7, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So eventually my mom made some friends lah.
Oh, that's good.
So the other thing is that whole being bold to ask the nurse. It's like she'll feel like something is not right, but I don't know what right. But I scared if I ask, I cannot scold. Then she never ask. Or something like, let's say her lying or something.
Right.
Tobocho. Then she never ask. Then by the time the nurse come back, right? Hey, why you never say just now here like that already?
Right.
So then she said, sometimes I scared I say I trouble people, but you're suffering on your own lah. So I always say medical stuff don't play. If it feels not right, ask. If they say it's
Yeah.
like that, then okay lah.
But I suppose depends on the staff also lah. I mean, if it's like, very grumpy one, then
Every staff is not grumpy, they're just busy.
really? Okay. So how you ask lah? How you ask nicely? Okay.
You don't like, hey, saya besakit like that. They are annoyed. Yes.
Okay.
So my mom has learned, she'll see who is the most friendly nurse. If it happen to be a young man. Then he
Oh,
say,
okay.
boy.
Boy,
This one. Then I say, why you call people boy? And like that, you don't feel like threatened, like this auntie just try to make conversation.
Or maybe like, how would it feel like if
Instead
I was
of like,
treating my mom or something?
Hey.
Yeah. Lapan.
Yeah. But those are some tips lah.
Oh, okay.
And then of course there's a break lah in between visiting hours.
So talking about breaks, we're going to take a break now. See you when we get back. This episode is brought to you by Songs and Stories. What Songs and Stories does is it gives you the true life story of the people. Everyday people with everyday lives and how they got to where they are. So if you want to find out more, check out Songs and Stories on Facebook. We are also on Twitter and YouTube. And
Yeah, actually you just Google lah.
yeah, website songsandstories.com.my. Okay, so we talked about expectations about being a patient lah. What are some of the expectations, or to prepare to be a caregiver or caretaker, like you said?
Actually, I realized there's a routine to it.
A routine.
Yeah, because there's
Because the visiting hours are
fixed, right?
Okay.
So normally, for example, our visiting hours 12 o'clock. So by 11 o'clock, I'll pick my dad up if my dad is coming with me. We will go and tapao lunch and buy whatever that's needed.
Okay.
And then we'll reach the hospital just nice 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Then it's visiting hour lah, attending to whatever the patient wants or whatever is it.
And it's like, what, 2.5 hours?
2 hours until 2.
Okay. 2 hours.
Then 4 o'clock, it start again. So that 2 to 4.
That's your
is
break between
horrendous.
breaks, like you said.
Yeah. But it can be horrendous because it's like, if you drive back home, you take half an hour to an hour. You put your butt down, less than half hour, you need to go already.
So you find somewhere, drink coffee, try
Yeah.
and do work lah.
Try and do it, but it's very hard lah.
Okay. Well, why is it hard? Sorry,
Why is it hard? It's because sometimes the patient go like, later when you come, buy this. Later, just now you didn't put this. And then you feel like, it's my break time. Why does it feel like I'm in the visiting hour?
Oh, okay. So this is where all the requests and demands come in.
Because like, it's like they need to see you in order. Or most of the time I find that when you leave the place, then they remember what they want.
Betul?
Yeah. So after that, then you go 4 o'clock, which is another 3 hours of visiting hours. And then you join the 7 o'clock jam home.
Yes.
So by the time you reach home, it's like 9 o'clock. So your day starts at maybe 10:30, 11, depending on how early you leave the house. And then by the time you reach home, it's like 8 o'clock lah, for me, like 8
I
something.
see.
And then you're like, oh, let's start to work now. Your brain just goes,
Cannot.
Actually,
right, because it's been so hot, I even like when I am at home.
Oh, so hot.
Working
Government
hours-
hospital got no aircon one.
Really?
So
Still?
It's very hot.
What, in the wards?
Yeah, they have
Or
just
outside?
the window open with the blower.
I thought, I always thought that was the case, but then I thought after that, things have changed and they have.
Some have, but most of them run on blower. Like the aircon blower, they don't turn on like a central aircon.
So you're talking about inside the ward, so where the
Inside the
bed is.
Correct. So imagine it's like you're in this stuffy situation the whole
Wow.
day. It's like, yeah,
Okay lah, but also good for ventilation lah now with COVID and everything, I suppose.
something like that.
But talking about the difference between private and government, I think there are still a lot of benefits of going to a government hospital. Like, okay, you were saying your brother, after how long was he in there for dengue?
Oh, yes. So, 16 days.
16 days.
But it's complicated because it's his second dengue. Second dengue is
Right.
called severe dengue. And he's also a heart patient, which has to do with blood, and dengue and blood are not good
yes,
friends.
and you were saying they had to give him platelets and all that.
Correct. Platelet drops. He was in the ICU for 3 days, CCU for another 3 days, that kind of stuff. Quite, how I say, quite a big thing lah. Because they don't know what to do. It's like, hey, dengue, I know what to do. Like dengue plus
Right.
this heart disease, like what do I do, you know?
But they have that expertise lah, because government hospitals, normally we know that it has that.
Yeah, actually government hospital, okay lah, nice that we talk about hospitals lah,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Government hospital is one of the hospitals that have the latest technology.
Yes.
Compared to a private. The private might buy and then 5 years later, every 5 years they upgrade or something like that. But government is every year they upgrade one.
Also because of the sheer volume of people who's coming
Correct.
in lah. Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes you go private, they say, hey, the latest machine is at the
Right.
government. They actually rent the machine.
And because bottom line is not so much of profit
Correct.
or whatever lah.
So
Yeah.
second thing good about government is they really cure you properly and let you go out.
And they check every single thing,
Yeah,
not
they-
because they want to get money out of you, but yeah.
No, they check every single thing because the student is learning how to check.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's not so much as the money thing. It's like
Yeah.
the student needs a patient to check.
Yes, yes, yes.
So they will check everything they want because it's
Correct.
part of the learning process.
Yes.
But it's good in the sense that I find they really detect everything, fix everything before they let you discharge. Compared to a private one, it probably like, oh, after you finish this one, I got another problem. Then this is just personal lah.
Okay.
I feel that the private hospital try to keep you longer to earn money. The government hospital is like, please recover and get rid of you because there's 101 people lining up for it.
Correct. So, okay. So you were saying 16 days came out. You paid how much?
We pay 5 ringgit registration. lah.
ringgit. Then that includes the
Test,
16,
ICU, test, whatever
the
test,
platelets, the
whatever test.
ICU and everything. So
Physio.
yesterday I was just talking to a friend and he was talking about how somebody was in hospital, private hospital, dengue 3 days. No platelet, what, no ICU, no nothing.
Okay,
10,000 ringgit.
there's a difference lah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say because my family, see, my brother himself was born heart patient, right?
Yeah.
So we've been to hospital in and out 29 years of his life. Okay, and we've been to government hospital quite a bit.
Yeah.
From my experience, they are very systematic.
Ah.
You might appear slow, but they are systematic. They know what they're doing at the pace that's right. They don't
Okay.
give you special priority unless you need it. But if you need it, it's really there.
But at that point, it can be very frustrating because you don't know what the system is and you feel like,
But if you think about it, if you go to a private hospital, you also don't know the system.
correct lah, but it feels like, wow, things moving faster, they pay more attention to you.
Yeah, because the more things they do to you, the more you pay ma. So I would say today we do test, okay? Why tomorrow do no money? Today do I can charge you more.
I think also, if I remember correctly, right? So the last time I was in hospital care was when my dad was having cancer, right? So surgery and all that. But I don't remember having to adhere to visiting hours at all.
Maybe because it's critical or something.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't ICU. So I've always had this thing like, oh, it's very serious, then only you have to adhere to visiting hours. But apparently not lah. So that was my impression of last time we could just hang there the entire day, and then there was this
we
uncle
also
who
hang
would
there the entire day. Visiting
and
hour
hang.
in the ward, not visiting hour outside
No,
the
we
ward.
inside the ward. Then we chit chat.
Yeah, then okay lah. Not
You
so
know,
bad lah.
and it's like, oh, if my dad like couldn't finish his food or people bring extra food, then he'd be like, nah, share. Then we were like eating together, the food, the fruits and everything. So it's
But I
almost like
think,
family time inside the room. or
that was
the
like
ward.
about 20 years ago, right?
Yes.
So now it's very different. It's because they put a visiting hour so that the patient can rest. Yeah, and so that the nurse can do their things. Because you are there, then the fella cannot.
Correct.
Like
So
want to
it's
put-
all around lah. So even private hospitals now
Correct.
have that.
Yeah, the purpose is to make sure that the patient have time to rest. But if the
Okay.
patient is bored, then another story lah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but also make sure that the doctors can function properly without people
Without-
buzzing around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and-
I remember every time the nurses came in, we would all exit. Go
Correct.
out.
Something
the
like-
doctor come, we also exit. Come out. Then we go back in and party.
Correct. Something like that. Yeah. But in general, I find the doctors can be quite friendly lah. in government hospital.
Mm.
Surprisingly. I say surprisingly because this time with my mom, I was quite surprised. My parents are those kind, okay, patient, learn how to ask questions.
Okay. And
The
Gina
doctor
is saying
comes,
this.
the doctor comes, see, and then any question, nothing. The moment the doctor walk off, so just now that one is how one. You ask me, ask the doctor lah.
Yes, so I am the type that I will like try to ask the doctors all the questions I can think of because I don't want to be having that problem after that.
It might be a personality thing,
Yes.
but from observation, a lot of patients in the hospital don't ask.
Okay.
Because why? Like the neighbor, hey, auntie, what are you doing? Something lah. They push me to something lah. Something lah.
Is it because they don't understand or because the information doesn't come properly, so ask also no point?
I don't know. But I know that caregivers are tired out most of the time from the waiting and then listening to all the nagging or whatever not. It's like you're the listener most of the time.
Okay.
Unless you lash back, which is not encouraged. And then it's
Okay.
waiting. And then the other part is, I really like in the hospital is the community.
Right.
So if I stay long enough, right, like for example, I see, hey, next door auntie no visitor one.
Yeah.
But she always needs something like someone to rinse the cup. Then I say, auntie, today I rinse your cup.
Yeah.
You know, she can wait for the nurse to do it, which is another 3 hours. Or like sometimes they say, hey, take my chair lah, got no visitor.
Yes.
So it's a very helpful, caring
Environment,
Yeah,
community lah.
correct.
Yeah.
Unless you're grumpy, then I don't know lah.
So, okay, having had to do this for
24
24 days, I'm sure you would have learned some. You said there's routine. How have you managed to cope with it?
Okay, the first week was hard. Second week, I still needed to work to earn money.
Yes.
So what I did was I wake up at 6 o'clock
Okay.
when my brain is a bit fresh. I try to do as much as I can before 10. And then it was hospital time lah. I call it hospital time.
So meaning you
Until
also
about-
try and before all the texting come in because I can imagine people
Oh, the taxi start at 5:30.
Oh my
Hello,
gosh.
I woke up already. Just change my peppers.
or no, not just patient, right? But other family members will be asking, "Oh, how is this?" Or other friends
Correct.
or people who just want to know wouldn't be texting your mom, for example, but they probably be texting the
24 hours lah.
caregiver lah, because they don't want to kacau, right? The person in hospital.
Yes and no lah. Because my mom has also said, Gina, tell them don't visit. No visitor lah.
Ah.
Then I need to tell them, actually when you visit, can one. You just don't give 101 advice because you're not her.
Okay.
Okay, so there are
Got
tips
people
like,
don't go and give so much advice.
yeah, you visit the company is nice, the president is nice, but you don't go and talk so much. Like, you should do like this. You are not the doctor. The patient don't want to listen to you. That's why you are banned from coming. And then you say, how do I tell people I'm banned? Tell Gina to tell. The
Oh, so
patient
you
won't tell.
become the bad cop.
Correct. So it's a lot of managing emotionally, physically, as well as mentally lah.
So I had a friend, I think you also know her, who was like critically ill, like end of life already. And she was actually very selective with who she would allow to
I would too.
visit. Actually, it's a bit tough lah. Do people actually ask permission before they come or do they actually
You
turn
don't
up?
tell them the information lah. That's what I do. My mom does that.
Oh, like no need to visit lah, it's okay.
No, I'm in the
That kind of
hospital.
thing.
Which hospital? Never mind.
Ah.
You
So,
reach a point where the siblings call and say, hey, why you never tell me your mother, which hospital, which ward? And I'm saying, she didn't tell you what reason.
wow. Okay. So yeah, pandai-pandai je lah. But this person actually specifically said that she wanted people who came with joy and cheer. Because she was already feeling very down. So she's like, if those people are going to come and like be sad,
Go far away.
she's like, it's okay lah. Thank you lah. But she couldn't, I think she also couldn't handle it, right? So I felt very honored that she said, yeah, y'all can come, give us the ward number. Then we also know lah, because she already said like that ma. So you go in, what you tell joke lah, we just cheery
Normal
and,
lah, like
cheery
normal
and
lah.
happy lah, like just, yeah, think of the good things kind of thing.
So one tip before we end,
Yeah.
whether you're a caretaker or a patient, I think people who are in the hospital require just one thing, which is a major thing called understanding.
Okay. Wait, the people in the hospital require you to be understanding?
The
or the
caretaker
or
and
the
the patient. Correct.
both need to be understanding.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not about what you know, it's the situation.
Right.
A lot of people like to come with opinions of their own. You should have done this, you should have done this, now you should do this. Actually, we are tired of it already. We just want someone to be there,
Yeah.
but not take up energy.
Yes.
Yeah, and don't force yourself on them. Like, and we'll come and buy fish, you must eat. The patient don't feel like eating fish, then you force for what?
Yeah lor.
Or I will this, it's not about you. When you are going to visit someone in the hospital, it's really not about you. If they don't want you to visit, it's really about them.
But you know what? All those things that you said, don't force your thoughts, your remedies, and understanding people is not just for hospital. It's whole life should be practicing that lah. But
Okay.
yeah. So yes.
Even more so like if you're sick. But yeah,
Yes.
let's practice that. Not force our thoughts on people, but just try to understand that everyone is on their own journey lah.
Yep. Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by two Malaysians who are passionate about Malaysian stuff.
Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Cerita Suito and Gina Yap Layung.
Today's episode is recorded at Studio 2105.
Remember to click like and subscribe for the brand new episode next week.